Oh, do I feel good today? What's up, universe? Welcome in to your sports and sports betting brand of record. We like to call it Driving the Line. We're here every single day at 10 a.m. Eastern Time, and you've made it what it is, a big-time shout-out. In just 2 months, you have taken us over that 4,000 sub mark. Let's continue to share the show. Let's continue to like the show because that's exactly what we do. Now, a little bit of housekeeping before I bring in the stars of the show. Yesterday, how did the show do? Well, here is what. We got a bunch of check marks. AB, once again, slaying the college baseball. I need to have a little conversation with my man DG, but that's all right. He'll bounce back. That's what we do it as a unit. Now, if you have not gotten your I Am a Howie's Homie t-shirt or sweatshirt, I encourage you to do that right now. The links are in all of our bios. There's the QR code right there. Get yours today as we head into the Sweet 16 version of March Madness. Now, let's bring in my boy, my partner, my 5-tool player. And AB, you were busy this weekend. We had rainouts. We had a whole bunch of stuff, but it did not stop you. Good morning.
Good morning, Coach. Good morning, crew. Good morning, everyone. No, it didn't. You know, the sports books, I give them credit. They gave us a big slate on Friday. Saturday, decent. Sunday, not so decent, but we started pairing up parlays between single-leg baseball and single-leg March Madness games. We'll do the same this weekend. It was nice. All plus money. Solid.
Very, very good. By the way, Howie Schwab is in the chat, and he says, get that Howie's Homie sweatshirt and get it right now. Now, AB, some programming updates for everybody that is part of the crew, our premium side of things. We will have a live show tonight, DTL After Dark, breaking down everything March Madness. You will be there, yes?
Correct, sir. We will.
Very good, sir. Okay.
No, I was going to say, all right. So, yeah, we'll be there tonight. And what we're going to do, we're going to break down, obviously, the look at the Sweet 16 potential Elite 8 matchups from a bracket perspective, betting perspective, and then also live bet some games. You're going to see our picks today. We'll definitely have some games going live on the board, so it's going to be a fun time.
You're damn right. Me, AB, Raphael, and my man Howie Schwab there to break down everything March Madness. Also, AB, and we're not really kind of releasing it. We're just kind of throwing it out there a little bit. We were discussing over the weekend potentially having a place where we can track all of our bets and the fans can be with us. Now, if people would like something like that, we're not going to tell you who it is. We're not going to tell you the app, none of that. If you would like a place where you can track every bet from the show, AB, I think it'd be a lot of fun and take some work off of our plate. Is that something you think we would like to do or that the fans would like us to do?
More transparency? Absolutely.
Okay. All right. And they say yes. All right. Have I forgotten? Oh, yes, I forgot something. The crew's pick today because you are the reason that we are sitting here. AB, what do we got?
Got 4 plays. NBA tonight. Clippers -5.5. Mavericks -8.5. Kings -9.5. And the Nuggets -14.5. And shout out Esteban Villa right there. Thank you. Welcome to the crew. And yeah, those are your 4 options. Put the polls in the chat. Vote now. And we'll update at the end of the show.
All right. Very, very good. And the initial returns are, yes, they would love a place where they could track all of our bets, and then you can put yours. I mean, it's going to be awesome. We're just trying to be smarter. We're trying to be better for all of you. We're trying to grow every single day. We talk about it all the time. All right, AB, if you are ready, it is Monday. I am fired up. We have so much to talk about today, but also our fire picks. So, sir, if you don't mind, let's get to the picks. Oh, yeah. Feel like going back WCW 1991. What do you say, Jonathan Zaslow? Good morning from Miami.
Good morning, everyone. How's it going? So much basketball. I mean, I've never watched more basketball than over the last few days. My God, this men's, the women's, the basketball tournament. I'm working on very little sleep here, but I'm ready to go.
You can hear him every single night on ESPN radio. That's my guy right there. Now, I'm the man who's been all over the place. And we have been praying for you. We've been rooting for you. And yet you still seem to show up. Rafael Esparza. Good morning, sir.
Good morning, DTL crew. Yeah, it's another time zone. Finally get to watch some games when your mom's in the hospital for the blind. There's no TVs anywhere, so it's hard to watch games when you're sitting around with no TVs in the area.
Wow. I wonder what that discussion is like if everybody walked in and said, can we get some TVs? And they say, why? Why? Interesting. I've never even heard of a hospital like that. They got somebody? That's good. That's good.
I have to give the Foundation of Blind in Phoenix, Arizona, much love. How they were handling everything, I got to give them much love. The nurses, the doctors, they were fantastic. The doctors were watching my laptops, watching games with me when they would walk by. So nothing but love over there.
You're damn right. Good shout out by you, Raphael. Now, this man has become an absolute slayer. He just sits back, doesn't say a whole lot, but boy, is he an important part of the crew. Mr. ROI Capper on the X. Charles, good morning, sir.
Morning, Coach. Morning, crew.
I told you, he doesn't say a whole lot. He doesn't say AB, just because Major League Baseball is back, we're writing Ronald Acuna. Can you just write MVP by his name too, please?
Yeah. So shout out real quick, everybody that is in the DTL Fantasy Baseball League. We had our draft last night. First off, shout out to TJ, the commish, put it together, did a great job. He got the number one pick, which he did do it randomized, right? But he got it. I had the number 2 pick, and my man took Ronald Acuna, number 1 overall.
Right in the gut. Right in the gut. Oh, by the way, AB, nobody invited me to play in the Fantasy Baseball League. No, I didn't get an invite, not a phone call, nothing.
You're too good. You're too good. We're running the minor league game over here.
Yeah, exactly. By the way, Robbie says you don't have to say a lot when you're just cashing tickets, Charles. Boom. That is what we say. And Capper Taylor, shout out to you. All right, let's get right into it because we've got a lot of picks today. And like I said, maybe in a week, maybe in 2 weeks, we're going to have a place where every single pick, every single sport divided into sports. We're thinking next level for all you guys at home. So, Zaslow, the Z-Man, you're always here on Mondays. You always start us off. I'm looking at your name, and I'm seeing an Indiana team that is going to be out here where I live. Start us off.
Yeah, Indiana, they're already there. Last night they were at the Lakers, all right? They lost 150 to 145. I mean, could somebody play a little bit of defense? So they lose last night. Tonight, back-to-back. No travel involved, all right, because they're in the same building, same city. They're at the Clippers tonight. Now, the Clippers, they're playing a back-to-back as well. They lost to the 76ers. So it's kind of even there if you think about it. You got both teams on the back-to-back. This Clipper team, though, they've been kind of coasting for the last few weeks. They had that stretch where they were looking like a real championship contender. They're kind of in a little bit of a malaise right now. So I like the Pacers getting 5.5 points tonight. They may even win the game outright, but I certainly like the Pacers getting 5.5.
Can you spell malaise, Z? Can you spell that?
I think so. Malaise. I'm like a really good speller, all right? Don't try me.
God, the energy you bring on Mondays. I absolutely love it. Although I don't think that was correct. All right. So we're starting with the Pacers plus 5.5. So I'll go next because I have the Pacers and the Clippers over 233.5. Now, this is a little scary for me, minus 105. But I listen to what Z says. And when the Clippers are going to play and the way they've been playing, I think they got to speed it up. I think they need to start scoring more points. You can't just slog out every single game. So I'll take the over there. And also Celtics Hawks over 224.5. This is just about Boston. They've been playing great basketball. They've been scoring a ton of points. And as we know, the Hawks never, ever play defense. The Hawks need to score here. I'll take those 2 overs. Now, Raphael, we're going to stay with that NBA theme. I'm coming over to you because you like an over tonight and a team total, which I absolutely love as well. You're up, sir.
Yeah, this is just on how the Washington Wizards play defense. Their defense is awful. Us 5 right here can probably put up 120 points on this Wizards defense. They're giving up 124 points a game this year, their defense. I think the Bulls will put up strong. Their last game, they played in the March 16th. The Bulls put up 127 points against the Wizards. That's why I'll do both of my plays right now if you don't mind. Give me the Washington Wizards Bulls game over 225. This number is moving as we speak. There's 225.5 right now at FanDuel. I would not be shocked if he climbs up. And Bulls team total over 119.5, because again, the Wizards defense is awful. Even though the Bulls are mediocre team, but I think they have no issue scoring on that Wizards defense. Bulls are averaging 113 points a game in the last 10 games.
Did you say, if I don't mind, like Raphael, you could do anything out of the box?
I was speeding up the show.
Oh, no, we're in a nice little pace today. All right. We got our NBA done, sort of, because AB's still to come. You know, he always brings it up last. So, Charles, let me come over to you. Because when I got a call last week from you and you said, Coach, I can do so much more than soccer. I'm on the ice, and you have not missed a freaking beat. But you never force anything. And today we got one single solitary play. Explain yourself.
Yeah, we have a short card today, Coach, but I did locate one of my favorite matchups, Vegas and St. Louis. Anytime these two play, I circle this, especially played in the Mound City, with 5 of the last 6 games played in St. Louis having cashed the over. Plus, Vegas games have surpassed the game total in 6 of their last 7 on the road. So anytime I can get an even 6 with these two teams playing in the show me state, I'm all over it. So we'll go ahead and take the over 6 goals, Vegas and St. Louis.
That almost felt like that was an excitable take from you. I felt like you went from like a 2 to a 3 on the energy level. Anybody else feel that? That's what I thought.
It was palpable.
It was palpable, wasn't it? All right, AB, I'm staring at your play. And so many people in the chat right now agree with you. Maybe they have one in and one out, but they're feeling it. So why don't we start first with the NBA? I'll get a little reaction. Then I'll come back to you for the college basketball.
Yeah, and shout out Dan Clark in the chat. He agrees. He's got his own parlay, but it's a lot based on exactly this, right? So we're going to go 3-pointers here, 3 legs, plus 100. All we need, Jokic 1+, Porzingis 1+, Jason Tatum 2+. There are some blowout potential games on the board tonight, so I want to keep our numbers low of what we require. But the best part about having a blowout is somebody's got to score. And usually it's somebody firing threes. So we're going to go again. Jokic 1+, Porzingis 1+, Tatum 2+. Put them together, plus 100.
Z-Man, what do you make of the Celtics as of, let's say, the last month? And do you think now that they should be the favorite to come out of the East?
Well, I mean, they're like, if I were Vegas, I would say, yeah, they should be the favorite to come out of the East. But if we're talking just my perspective, I think that there are teams that can beat them. I think New York, if they're healthy, can beat them. I think Miami can beat them. We've seen it before. We've seen it several times recently. One of the big issues that I have with Boston, they've been so good throughout the entire season. I mean, just smoking teams that sometimes you get to the postseason now where you're going to be involved in tight games every night against good teams, against good defensive teams. I do wonder if not playing enough tight games winds up hurting you when you get to the postseason. You know, if you wind up playing a lot of close and late games, it's preparing you for the postseason. If you're smoking teams and Jason Tatum and Jaylen Brown don't have to play the last few minutes of the fourth quarter, that's not preparing you for the postseason. So there is part of that I believe is going to be a hindrance to the Celtics in the playoffs.
Raphael, as we look at the numbers, I mean, at minus 125 to win the East, the books are almost making it so we can't bet the Celtics in the postseason.
Well, year after year, the Celtics are one of the biggest East betting team before the Bulls just dwindled away in the late 90s. Celtics money always come in, especially when I used to work at Caesars, where you couldn't take Celtics money because at the time we owned part of the Boston Celtics. People were mad. You can find minus 115. DraftKings has it out there. I don't like it. Zaslo's right. The playoff Miami Heat team can beat the Celtics. I don't know about the Knicks. I don't think they're going to be healthy in the playoffs, but there's teams that I think that can give the Celtics some problems. I like the Bucks. I like the way that Lillard's been playing. When the Greek Freak was out for a while, he pulled up his scoring. They played much defense. I like Lopez's defense the last couple of games. I think the Bucks could be something you might want to look at. I'm not sold on the Celtics yet.
All right, at BetMGM, the Bucks are plus 300 to win the East, plus 700 to win the whole damn thing. Now, as I mentioned off the top of the show, tonight we have a DTL After Dark, 9 p.m. Eastern Time. Howie, Raphael, myself, and my man AB. And AB, it is never too early to look at a little money line parlay. Get the best number 3 days early. Talk to me.
We have been doing fairly well with moneyline parlays so far in the round of 64-32. We're going to continue that with a Sweet 16 here. We're going to do 3 legs, put those 3 together, plus 135. We're going to take Arizona money line, Houston money line, and UConn money line. Yes, those 3, put them together. Also in the chat, Bretley asked, hey, I can't find Porzingis 1+. The reason is that we have created this style of parlay. It's what we call the static plus same game parlay. So what you do is go find Nikola Jokic, normal bet, right? I did this on BetMGM. 3-pointers over half. It's like minus 210. All right. Click that. Then go to the Celtics game, click same game parlay, and you could take Tatum down a 3, and you could take Porzingis down a 3, and you still keep plus money. The books don't know we're doing it, but they smash. So that's how you do it.
I want everybody to just feel that for a second. Just let it all wash over you. Everything that AB just said, as I've got my paper, I've got my pen, and I ask you one single solitary question right here, right now. Do you want to do the work? I didn't think so. Now, it is that time of the show where we like to dive in 12 hours early. And also, we're going to be discussing the very latest on Shohei Otani. So we drop Charles off for just a second because it is time, ladies and gentlemen, to educate and entertain. I gave my boys a little homework last night. I said, gentlemen, we've got 16 teams left in this little thing we call the big dance. And as I look at my notes, we've got one. Count them one, gentlemen. Double-digit seed left. It always comes out in the wash. Only 1 seed north of 6 is left in this little tournament we call March Madness. So here's what we're going to do. And, AB, I'm going to let you kick this one off. I want to know from each region who you have coming out of it. And we're going to start with the East, and then we'll kind of just go around. But I need your 4 teams, and producer man will just kind of throw the brackets up as we go. So in the East, UConn, San Diego State, Illinois, Iowa State. Who's coming out? We'll do it individually and go around. Who's coming out of the East for you?
UConn. It's just too hard to bet against them. Now, don't get me wrong. San Diego State is a hell of a basketball team. Watch out. Iowa State's a hell of a basketball team, and so is Illinois. But, I mean, it's UConn, man. Like, dude, they're just blasting everybody.
They are, and they're 9.5-point favorites, Raphael, over San Diego State, the 5 seed. Iowa State is laying 2.5 in the Sweet 16 game over Illinois. Your thoughts on the East?
I'm not sold on UConn. Yeah, everyone's like, oh, they dominated. They played Stenson. I think I wore those jeans in high school. And they played Northwestern, who was all banged up. So I'm not sold. Yeah, they put up some big numbers. But what San Diego State did last night with Yale, their defense was really, really good. That could be a game where that could be the first number 1 team out. And I like San Diego State to advance. And Iowa, Illinois, throw a dart, because I think either one of these teams can probably win this one. I'm going to go Iowa State. I just think not that many people know that they're the 2 seed. People think Iowa State is just a bad football team that can't score against Iowa when they play in football. I like Iowa State to probably come out of that one.
And you like UConn to come out of the whole region, though?
No, I got San Diego State.
Okay, San Diego State, and we got a UConn. All right, Z-Man, let me come over to you, because Tom in the chat says, Danny Hurley makes me want to run through a wall. How do you feel about those UConn defending champions?
I mean, Danny Hurley's a crazy person, all right? So I get it. But I like Iowa State. I like the teams that come into the tournament playing their best basketball. They won the Big 12 championship tournament. Great wins over Baylor, who, of course, lost yesterday. And they smoked Houston as well. And now, obviously, in the first round, they get past South Dakota State easily. Washington State's a good team. So Iowa State with a good performance over the weekend, and now they're facing a really hot Illinois team. So I like the momentum that Iowa State's going to have. I like them to get through this game and probably to face UConn. I understand UConn won the Big East tournament, #1 overall seed. I like Iowa State to get out of this region.
All right, so we've got a San Diego State, a UConn, Iowa State. I'm going to back up AB. I'm going to go with UConn too. I hate the fact that I'm doing this, but they are just playing phenomenal basketball. You can't bet them. Before the tournament, they were plus 400 guys. You can't bet a plus 400. It's like betting a winning ticket in golf at plus 500 like a Scotty Scheffler. You think it's the right play, but you can't actually bet money on it. But I'm going to take UConn, even though I absolutely hate that pick. All right, let's go to the West now. North Carolina, the #1 seed. They are still alive. They're laying 3.5 against Alabama in the Sweet 16. And Clemson, the 6th seed, taking on Arizona. We have potential here, AB, for Mr. Caleb Love to face his old squad that he transferred from North Carolina if they both win here. Who's coming out of the West?
Yeah, shout out to Caleb Love. Shout out to EC. We're going with Arizona here to win it. I think that they're playing good basketball. Not that the other teams aren't. Alabama is playing much better than it did leading in to the NCAA tournament. North Carolina, yeah, they're playing like North Carolina does. But I think Arizona playing at their best is better than everyone else playing at their best. Shout out Rex Ryan on that one. Yeah, give me Zona here.
I didn't know we'd have a shout out to Rex Ryan today on Driving the Line.
He originally had that quote on Hard Knocks. Now, it had 19 more F-bombs than I was willing to put on the show, but yeah, it was pretty good.
Shout out to Coach Phil. He had a bunch of F-bombs on Hard Knocks as well. I'll never.
Did we lose, Coach?
I think we lost.
All right. I'll tell you what. I'll hang it
'Cause
till
my
we
Wi-Fi's
get him
going a
going.
little-
Raphael, same question to you. North Carolina, Alabama. Coach, you back?
I think I'm back. Am I
All right,
back?
there you go. All right, I'll just tee it up our man Raphael there.
I know. We're having so much weather out here. I apologize. All right, Raphael, who's going to go in the West?
If you watched the show we did with me, Howie, and you two beginning before the tournament started, you know who I have cutting down the nets. I have North Carolina cutting down the nets. I cannot wait if we see the matchup of North Carolina, Arizona. I think that could be the game of the tournament. I like North Carolina to continue. They rolled all weekend long, and their depth and their speed, it was too much. I give me North Carolina to continue, and I got them to cut down the nets.
And Z-Man, if he has them to cut down the nets and anybody bet on them, they were plus 1,600 prior to the tournament to win the whole damn thing. Your thoughts on the West?
Yeah, I'm all in on North Carolina, too. I got North Carolina winning the whole thing. In this matchup, though, I think they're going to crush Alabama. Like, it's defense optional with the Crimson Tide. We know they could score. I mean, they just came off scoring 109. They don't defend. So I think they're running into a team now for the first time that will defend. I think UNC is going to really hammer them, and I like UNC to win the whole thing, actually.
We started to see the higher seeds really start to flex their muscles, but to your point on Alabama, we talked about them in the first game. We're like, take the team total. It was like plus 400, over 100 points. No, can't happen. And they went way over that 172, way over that 100 to your point. So they can score, but I think North Carolina is my play too. So we got 3 North Carolinas and 1 Zona. Let's go over to the South. And this is where the #1 seed was almost gone. They were up big late in their game yesterday against Texas A&M. And then all of a sudden just fell asleep. Kelvin Sampson, how entertaining was he on the sidelines yesterday? Texas A&M hits that big shot at the buzzer. They got overtime, but Houston does prevail. Now, they've got to take on the 4 seed Duke. They're laying 3.5 in that Sweet 16 game. And then the only double-digit seed remaining, North Carolina State, they are your ACC champions. They're taking on Marquette, the 2 seed, minus 6.5. AB, let's start with you coming out of the South.
Going Houston here. They tried to banana peel it last night. And my God, we had like 9 parlays all set on Houston winning that game. But you know what? They survived in advance, and that's exactly what it's about. I think they're the best team in this region here. Give me Houston.
All right, Houston for you. Raphael, let me come over to you, big boy. Coming out of the South, talk to me.
Houston beats Duke. Let's take it. Let's take the best team that's played probably the best components. Marquette. I like them. I think they beat NC State, and I have Marquette beating Houston. So I like Marquette coming out of that one.
All right, they play fast. Z-Man, they play hard. We have a Houston and a Marquette. Talk to me.
Look, I can't stand Duke. I love watching when Duke loses. You know, you see all those kids in the stands, they think it's their birthright to win every single college basketball game. I love it when Duke loses. But the fact of the matter is, they perform very well so far. Yes, easy draw. You can make that case, Vermont, James Madison, but they're performing the way they should against those teams. Jared McCain yesterday, 30 points, 0 turnovers as a freshman. I like Duke here. I like Duke coming out of the region, actually.
I hate that I agree with you, Z-Man, but I have Duke written down as well. Duke over Marquette is what I have. I think Houston, because of how that game ended, and let's not forget, they got blown out in the Big 12 conference tournament. They just haven't been playing very good basketball, and they're not the defensive juggernaut that got them to this point. I like Duke also. I like Duke to get to the Final Four. I agree with you, Z-Man. All right, the final region is the Midwest. And I apologize, Liddy. We didn't get to Purdue faster for you in the chat. Purdue, the number 1 seed, -4.5 over Gonzaga, who just laid out the Kansas Jayhawks. And then you got Creighton, a sexy pick by a lot of people. They're the 3 seed. AB, they're taking on your Tennessee Volunteers, and Tennessee is laying 2.5. Your thoughts on who comes out of the Midwest?
I said it's great to be. All right, look, Tennessee is going to handle their business here. 2 great games. Tennessee and Creighton is going to be fun. All right, Purdue and Gonzaga is going to be fun. I think Tennessee is the best team in this region, but Purdue's playing great basketball. We got to give them a shout out. The problem is Gonzaga is too. That's going to be, I can't wait to watch it, but yeah, balls for me, man.
You're going to go Tennessee. Raphael, we got one for the Volunteers.
Of course, he was going to take Tennessee. It's the winner of the Purdue Gonzaga game comes out of this one. Purdue, I wasn't a big fan coming into this tournament, and they just look dominant all game long. They're going to be a very, very tough out, but so is Gonzaga. So whoever wins that game is probably going to come out. I'm going to say Purdue with Edey. I mean, he's just been outstanding. His free throw shooting is probably the biggest reason why I think they continue to win games. You keep on fouling the big guy, and all he does is just hit free throws. I wish Shaq could hit free throws like that because they would have more rings. But, yeah, the big man can hit some free throws.
No doubt. By the way, I wrote exactly what you just said. That's exactly what I had written down. Purdue over Gonzaga, the winner of that game goes on. So that's my pick. Z-Man, we talked about this last week on the show. Edey is 7'4", and there are projections that he may be a late second-round pick. Watching him in the tournament, just his sheer size, how do you not take him and say, just anchor yourself in the middle and we'll play around you?
Yeah, not an NBA player. You know, I watched the game. No, I watched the game yesterday. I mean, look, if we go back 20 years ago, he's a top 3 pick. All right, that's the way the game was back then. But now, he doesn't move well laterally. The NBA is a pick and roll game. They will pick and roll him to death every single time down the floor. And yes, while he gets the position he wants every single time down the floor, there are a bunch of guys who, even if they're not his size, they do have a ton of strength in the NBA. He's going up against kids. Let's be honest here. He's going up against kids in the college game. I do not believe the way that he's able to force his will in the paint. I don't believe it will translate into the NBA. And when you're a player of his size, who, if he's going to be forced outside, he never shoots from the perimeter. He's all on the inside. You got to be able to shoot a little bit on the perimeter in this NBA. Even if you're a big guy, you got to have more than just a post-up game. I haven't seen it from him. I don't think he's a big NBA player.
That's fair. That's absolutely fair. Who do you got coming out of this region, too?
Well, look, Purdue is looking to keep the streak alive of number 1 seeds that lose to a 16 and winds up winning the championship the next year. That happens every single time. Now, granted, Purdue's only the 2nd team to have that opportunity. But here's the thing. I don't like Purdue or Gonzaga to wind up coming out. I like Creighton. I think Creighton, a great test against Oregon. They survive in double overtime. You gotta have a test early on in the tournament. Sometimes you got to get a little bit lucky. I like that Creighton had to get through that double overtime game. I like Creighton to come out of this region.
And I like that you looked AB right between the eyes. And you said, not today, big boy, not today.
Hey,
I think it's going to be a great game, Creighton and Tennessee, but I like money more. All right, I'm sorry, AB. Creighton.
Hey, Creighton, look, there's no hate there at all. The Blue Jays, they are a phenomenal basketball team. And I'm fascinated in the total in this game, because if anyone watched Tennessee and Texas, Tennessee's defense is for real. Creighton will shoot threes, but they take a ton of time off the shot clock every single possession. This could be a super low total compared to, I think it's like 148.5 or somewhere around there right now. But pay attention to that total through the week. Raphael, like, I'm sure that you got a better take on it.
Yeah, the total opened up at 142, quickly got bet up to 143.5. And I think the betting public will probably bet it upwards to 144, 145. It is the late game. It's the 10 o'clock Eastern Standard Time. So, those TV viewers who maybe got waxed or have all that extra money. They've been pounding the books on Friday, Saturday, and Sunday because the books took a wash, a beat down on Saturday. They'll bet this total up.
Also, better days ahead, Raphael. Any thoughts on the total in the Purdue-Gonzaga game, the other game in that region?
If this goes up to 155, I think it will. Take a shot at the under. I mean, I think we missed a good number on the over. It opened up a little bit lower, but I could see Purdue's defense trying to slow down. Because if it's a track meet, if Gonzaga controls the tempo, then I think Purdue takes a walk home and they're not in it anymore.
All right. By the way, AB, I got to give you a shout out. Because we tell people all the time, hashtag it pays to watch live. And you were talking about that Tennessee-Texas total on the show. It wasn't a play that we had. A buddy of mine texted me, hey, what are we on today? I didn't get a chance to watch the show. I gave him a few picks, and I said, also, keep an eye on that Texas-Tennessee under. We were talking about that. I mean, they had 47 points at halftime.
You drilled it. Yeah, well done on that one, man.
Yeah, well done to you. Well done to you. All right, gentlemen, great analysis. Great analysis. And again, we're live tonight at 9 p.m. Eastern time. We'll dig deep into the Sweet 16 on DTL After Dark, but you got to be a crew member. It is a crew exclusive. Now, gentlemen, topic number 2. And this one out here where I live is front page news. It's front page national news. You guys loved having Roger Lodge on Friday. But, and again, this is all alleged, but there's a lot of voices out there. And there's even a connection to the club where I play, where people show up to play golf connected to this guy, the illegal bookmaker. So this is a clip from the Sports Junkies podcast, 106.7 The Fan. This is Brandon Lang. And again, all of this is alleged, but this was actually the question I was going to ask to all three of these guys this morning. And Brandon Lang gives me a great setup. Listen to what he says about Shohei Otani and who potentially made the bets that provided the money to come out of his account. Here's Brandon Lang.
3 months ago, my very best friend, who I go to LA and play golf with all the time, stay at his house. I've known him for literally 24 years, calls me 3 months ago and says, bro, do you know a bookie named Matt Bauer? And I said, yeah, I met him like 4 years ago in Vegas. He's absolutely out of his mind. I just play golf with him. And the feds are after him. And I asked him, who is your biggest client? And he told me it was Otani. I go, get out of here. He goes, nope. And I said, how much? How much? I'm not going to give you the number, but I will tell you the number is between 7 and 25 million, and it's only soccer, and that's it. Wow. Nothing else. Now, the feds raid his home, confiscate 11 million in crypto, all his money. He's got a wife and 5 boys. How do I know all this? Because it's coming from my boy who played golf with him. Everything gets raided. So he loses everything. The feds come in and take everything. So they get his phone, and they go through his phone, and here's all this stuff in Japanese through the interpreter. So the feds are like, what's this? And he goes, well, it's and Bauer tells the true story to the feds. It's Otani. It's Shohei Otani. He's into me for X. And that's what that is. So now the feds are, whoa, biggest face in baseball right now. What are we going to do? So now they go to Otani's people and his agents, and they concoct the story that says, listen, this guy doesn't speak any English. He never talked to a bookie. His interpreter is his interpreter. His interpreter stole the money. His interpreter did this. His interpreter did this. And the interpreter is the fall guy for all of this.
Which brings us to today. And Shohei Otani will be meeting with the media. He asked for this interview. That's very important. So, AB, I'm going to start with you. I'm not saying what Brandon Lang says is true, but we talked about it last week. So this doesn't come out of the blue. If indeed this was Shohei, and it's important that it's only soccer, but the numbers are staggering. If it is $7 to $25 million, what do you make of the sound you just heard?
First off, what no one's talking about is that Otani, excuse me, will have to be using a brand new interpreter today. So the pressure's on him. Welcome in to the fire, my man. I don't know where they found this guy, but he's going to be that Key and Peele gif with the sweat coming down. Yeah, welcome in on that one. Number two, yeah, a guy making $100,000 has between $7 and $25 million in gambling debts. Wrong. That's not going to happen. Yeah, absolutely. Look, let me say this. If the Dodgers and Major League Baseball felt that they had control of this situation, like we said on day one that they wouldn't, this Otani conversation wouldn't be happening. But over the weekend, everyone started putting the things together, so they are in scramble mode here. As Chris Carter said, get you a fall guy.
Well, it certainly appears, Z-Man, like that's what's going on. And in the chat, I say, also, who in their right mind would give their interpreter access to their money? To me, just my gut when this came out told me, because there's nobody, I don't care how much money you have, Z-Man, that's not going to know that $5 to $10 million came out of an account that you have. Nobody, especially in today's sports world. What is your take on this with the latest sound you just heard?
Yeah, there's my take is there's a lot of bullshit in this story. You know, there are so many questionable statements that arose from the statement from the interpreter to the story that they have now concocted. And by the way, today Otani's going to meet with the media. I expect it to be nothing more than him reading a statement and then peace out. I mean, if you think he's going to stand up there and field questions, you're nuts. There is no chance that's what winds up happening today. But AB's right. I don't understand how the interpreter, he's got power of attorney. He can just take out of Shohei Otani's checking accounts and move over to money. By the way, once we found out about this story, when the interpreter sat down and did a 90-minute interview about it, the next day, in the bottom of the ninth inning in the game in Korea with the Dodgers and the Padres, Shohei and the interpreter, they're yucking it up in the dugout because they're like best friends, you know? I would think if I'm Shohei, I'd be a little bit angrier about this massive theft that took place. Also, by the way, like you mentioned there, the likely salary that the interpreter has. Do you know a bookmaker that would allow an interpreter, all right, who likely doesn't make millions of dollars to run up a potential $4.5 million tab? You'd let Shohei Otani do that. He's a professional athlete who just signed a $700 million contract. You're going to let an interpreter run up a $4.5 million tab? I'm sorry. There is so much bullshit in this story. I hope we eventually get to the bottom and find out. I don't know how much trouble Otani would be in if it's just soccer that he's betting on. But here's the thing. If he wouldn't be in any trouble for whatever he was doing, why do we have this huge cover-up? So I absolutely believe that Shohei is the man at the center of it.
You just hit 5 or 6 incredible points that I don't even have to bring up now. And Raphael, as I come to you, when I send a Venmo, it makes me put in 2 different things just to send $10 to transfer $4.5 million. Can you imagine what you would have to do? And it's not like you just pick up your phone and go, oh, here's $4.5 million to Michael Bauer. That's not how it works. So everything Z-Man just said, it smells of just leading to Shohei being the guy. What do you think?
It wouldn't shock me. First of all, Bradley Jacobs, yes, the Asian market, they bet soccer huge. They go soccer, NBA, then probably football for the Asian market. So, yes, it could be soccer. And if it is, how much trouble would he be? All I think about this, and we said this last week, is when Michael Jordan got so-called suspended and went to go play baseball. There was rumors that he got suspended from the league because of his gambling debt, and so he decided to go play baseball and then come back. This is exactly what it smells like to me. I think Otani was the betting person, probably betting soccer. I don't think he was betting baseball because they have rules over in KBO and the China League that you can't bet baseball. So I don't think he was betting baseball. I do believe he was probably betting just soccer, maybe other things, but it's him. It has to be him. And I agree. There's a lot of BS floating around in this one.
Maverick said, imagine having $700 million and still wanting to gamble. Raphael, you've dealt with a lot of wealthy people when you worked in Vegas. Why do wealthy people still like to gamble?
because they can. It's the rush. It's the W's and L's. I used to see one of my biggest customers was the guy that wrote one of the greatest books out there. And I don't want to mention his name, but he bet not because he had needed the money. He bet because he thought he could win the books. And walking out winning $1 million on a game and something like that, you stick your chest up. You think you're untouchable. So B-Dub was probably one of the smartest bettors that I ever met. I wish I could say about his book, but on that. But he's one of the bettors, and he didn't need to bet. The owner of Circa, he would bet all the time with us, betting six figures on that and on first halves and all that. And he didn't need the money because he owed half of all the strip bet with all the circus Olay shows. He just wanted the action. He just wanted the thrill of the win or loss.
And to Z, to your, AB, go.
I was going to say, look, shout out to the movie Heat. The action is the juice.
Yep.
That's a great quote. The other part about what Z said that is true that people need to understand when you're talking about this kind of money. Years ago, and I'll make it very, very quick, I met a brother. It wasn't actually a brother, but he claimed he was a brother of an NBA player. I went to that city. We hung out at Buffalo Wild Wings. He bet 4 games at $10,000 a game, lost all 4. We drove to his apartment where all these NBA players lived, walked into a closet, I kid you not, and they had a box with just stacks of cash in there. He had to pay the guy before he would allow him to bet on the late game. So he paid him like at 3:45, 4 o'clock. So then he could bet another 10 grand on the late games, lost all of those. And I watched this dude lose almost $100,000. And his bookie made him pay in between. So Z-Man, you think somebody's going to just run up a $4 million bill when you only make a couple $100,000?
No way.
No way. No way. Gentlemen, great job today. All right, if you came in a little bit late and you didn't get our best bets, you are in luck because it's time for the whip around. So as we bring the man back in from the dirty, Charles, somebody in the chat said, well, if he's losing at soccer, clearly he's not betting with our man Charles. That's a good point. Shohei, call us. We got you. But today it's all about hockey. Charles, start us off.
Exactly what I was thinking, Coach. NHL, Vegas, St. Louis. We're going to go ahead and grab the over 6 goals. Anytime we can avoid that hook, I'm all in. So Vegas and the Blues over 6 full goals.
All right. Z-Man, Moshe says if Shohei gets out of this, he should become the new face of DraftKings. Interesting, because guess who is the new face of DraftKings? LeBron James. They're not that far apart. Z-Man, talk to me.
Yeah, that is the way for people who don't really understand the gravity of this situation. It's the equivalent of if LeBron James were involved in this mess, Shohei Otani. Like, it's a massive deal. Anyway, Pacers plus 5.5. Even though they're coming off the second day of a back-to-back, I like the Pacers here against the Clippers at the Clippers. Clippers are second day of a back-to-back as well. Clippers have been struggling, and the Pacers need these games. The Pacers 6, 7, and 8 in the Eastern Conference, all even in the loss column. They're trying to stay out of the play-in.
All right, we do have one tennis play today from my man Howie Schwab. Anna Kalinskaya, money line, plus 130, going with the underdog today. Why? Because Howie said so. I'm going to go 2 NBA games today. Celtics Hawks over 224.5. It's all about Boston for me. They're scoring a lot. I thought about their team total, but I decided to go with the game minus 115. And then I'm going to follow Z-Man into LA, but I'm going to go with the over. They scored 145 yesterday. The Clippers have not been playing good basketball at all. So let's go over 233.5. I think they could win the game potentially and sail to the over. There was 295 scored in this building less than 24 hours ago. Raphael, you're up.
Wizards Bulls over 225 and a Bulls team total over 119.5. And it's all because of that Wizards horrible defense that gives up 124 points a game. Bulls put up maybe 300 points themselves.
All right. Z-Man is gone. Charles has gone. Raphael has gone. The coach has gone. AB, big boy, bring us home.
If you start seeing Shohei Otani wearing Oregon State baseball shirts, then you know what's going down. He's watching the show. It's smart move because Oregon State's beating the hell out of everyone. They don't even let us bet them anymore. Anyways, NBA three-pointer parlay tonight. 3 legs, all right, pays out plus 100. Nikola Jokic, 1+. Kristaps Porzingis, 1+. Jason Tatum, 2+. Those three together, plus 100. And then a Sweet 16 money line parlay, plus 135. Arizona money line, Houston money line, UConn money line. Let's go.
And we will dig into all of that later tonight. DTL After Dark at 9 p.m. Eastern Time. All right, gentlemen, before we let you get out of here, Mr. Z-Man, Mr. Zaslow, educate the good people. Where can they find your stuff, sir?
Yo, thank you. Anywhere you get your podcasts, you could find Zaslow Show 2.0. Apple, Spotify, Google. I'll name them all, but I'd be here all day long. Wherever you get your podcast, Zaslow Show 2.0, Monday through Friday. We're very Miami-centric, but of course we hit on all the big stories as well. So check it out. I appreciate that.
And no problem. By the way, did I get the dates mixed up? Is WrestleMania this coming weekend?
No, 2 weeks. In 2 weeks.
2 weekends.
April 6th. Yeah, it's going head-to-head with
somebody.
Night one's going head-to-head with the Final Four, actually. Final Four. Come on, same dates.
Well, behind the turnbuckle, I said we were going to have a big go-home show. I was like, did I miss the week? All right, we're good. It's still real. It's still real to me. That should be the name of the show, too.
Damn it.
That's good. That's a good name.
Darren.
That's a good name.
Jordan. Yeah. All right, gentlemen. Great job today. Charles, Raphael, I will see you two tomorrow. But ladies and gentlemen, it's time for you to go out into the world. So it's time for the closing bell. All right. Zach says, is there an After Dark or Shoot Your Shot tonight? Zach, I literally just said that. Tonight, 9 p.m. Eastern Time, DTL After Dark. Me, my man AB, Raphael. My Wi-Fi is driving me insane today. I apologize. AB, quickly, get me home.
I'll get you home, Coach. They are going with the Clippers tonight, -5.5. That is the Crew's overwhelming choice. They enjoy, ready, and are willing to go for the LA Clippers tonight, -5.5. There's your shot, man.
All right. And I am fired up for tonight. Lori. Oh, Lori's there. AB killed it again with baseball. Do you ever get tired of those green check marks next to your name with college baseball? Does it like just wear you out?
No, not at all.
No.
Let me say this. It is an unbelievable sweat every Saturday and every Sunday because these games are banana land and you have no idea what's about to happen at any moment. It's so much fun. I know everybody in the crew feels it the same way where it's like, hey, we're up 8-2. Hey, we're down 14-10. Like it's just madness, man, constantly.
And I'm glad that you are handling it because I would not be able to do it. Finally, we have a lot of things that are working for everybody now. We are talking to a lot of people. We're trying to make the show better. You're allowing the show to become bigger, but we really feel like we're turning that corner. So we wanted to say today, take 5 seconds to say thank you for getting Driving the Line to where it is. We're only 2 months in. It's hard to believe. We're only 2 months in, but thank you to all of you, and we'll see you tonight at 9 p.m. Eastern Time. So with all that being said, it's time for you to go out into the world. It's time for you to be kind to one another. Be honest with one another. Do the work and understand this. There's only one thing left to do, and I believe you all know. Oh, the Wi-Fi. You've got your marching orders. Let's take all of these tickets straight to the pay window. My entire crew, Lobo, Z-Man, Raphael, the man from the Dirty, Charles, AB, producer man behind the scenes, always making the show look like $1 million. I am simply the coach trying to keep this train on said track. We grind for you so we can win with you. It's truly what we're all about. Have a great day from Driving the Line. Good luck.